Today we're going to talk about tips for the grip. It's the only connection you have to the golf club. There's a few things I like to really emphasize when we're talking about the grip. As a right-handed golfer, we're going to start with the left hand on the grip. One of the things I like to see in a grip is something between a neutral and a stronger grip. And I'm going to show you how you would determine if your grip is weak, neutral, or strong. There is, on your wrist, there's this bone right here. You can, if you just close your eyes and you kind of moved your thumb around, you'll find this bone. I like to take a marker and put a dot or a line right where that bone is. Now, when you're looking into a mirror and you put your left hand on the club, this is the easiest way I could possibly teach it. You want to make sure that this dot or that line is in line with the shaft when the shaft is perpendicular, like perpendicular to the ground, or slightly to the right. One of the most common mistakes I see is if you can see the butt end of the club from your face-on angle, your grip is way too weak. That is a very, very weak position. I like to see this right on top. So when you're really doing this drill, make sure in the mirror that your shaft isn't too far forward or back, straight up and down, and that dot is right on top or slightly to the right. For a while there, my grip got a little weak, and I'd have some of my friends, my Tour Pro friends or coaches watch me hit some. He's like, "Man, your grip's really weak," and you never really notice because I haven't been maintaining. So lately, in the last 6 months, since I've been told that my grip was getting weak, I start to work on it. That's the left hand position. The next important thing is I like to see a very short thumb. So if we look up, you can see that my thumb is only a little bit past my fingers. Okay, that's very important. I don't like to see a long thumb. I don't like to see that left thumb go all the way down the shaft. I like to see it very short. It gets the club more in your fingers. For some people, this may even cause a little bit of space here. That's okay. But where the club is in the fingers over here, this is very important. This not touching this part is not important at all. You wouldn't believe when I get certain golfers into the proper grip and beginners, they say, I feel like my whole hand is not even on the whole club, and it's not. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't have to be. This is a very, when the club's in your fingers, very strong position. Let's start talking about the right hand. I like to see the thumb and the finger, the pinch right here, and then the fingers curl. And that just covers the thumb. So I'm going to start over. Thumb on there. Curl the fingers. You can set it on top. And that's a pretty traditional grip right there. I don't think the grip is talked about enough these days. I think the grip is so important. It's the only attachment you have to the club. And the way you grip the club has a lot to do with how the wrist will set or can set. If you want to hit spinners, I've never seen, if you take 50 best spinners of the golf ball and you look at their grips, most likely probably more than 95% of them are on the stronger side. It helps the set. There's so many different advantages of a strong grip, especially in short game. I mean, not just driver, but we're talking, this goes all the way down to chipping and pitching and hitting spinners. So get comfortable where these certain keys that I gave you, short thumb, is that dot on top of the shaft or is it to the right? I like to interlock. Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus. I like to interlock. I've actually played with an overlap grip in my career as well. When I was struggling with my swing, I started to mess with my grip and I tried an overlap grip. That overlap's not for me. I'm going back to my interlock. This is how I grew up. This is how I learned it. But if you look at a lot of old golf books from Hogan's books to David Ledbetter's book, one he wrote in like 88, late 80s. Great book. They talk about the grip a lot. Nick Faldo talked about the grip a lot. Nowadays, the grip's not talked about as much, and I think it's extremely important. So take the time at home, get a grip. I don't care if it's a spatula, work on this position. This is extremely important. Let me know if these tips were helpful. Let me know in the comments if these tips were helpful and what type of grip do you prefer. Do you like an interlock? Do you like an overlap, and why? Some people have different grips for different types of shots. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on your grip. Have you been working on it? And don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next video.